Alwin Nikolais was born November 25, 1910, in Southington, Connecticut, and passed away at the age of 82 on May 8, 1993, at the Cabri Medical Center in Manhattan. He was one of 6 children in a home where his parents promoted the arts and music. He first studied piano and soon later gained an interest in puppetry, after finding a puppet randomly in his house. These interests can be thought to have influenced his unique choreographic ideas and style. At the age of 16, he studied acting and had a job accompanying silent movies and dance classes. When he was 21, he saw his first dance production performed by Mary Wigman. He then was inspired to study dance and percussion. He did so under Truda Kashman. At the same time, he was also directing marionette theater and regional plays under the Works in Progress administration. Nikolais was able to train under Martha Graham, Doris Humphrey, Anaya Home, Charles Wiedemann, and Louis Hurst at the Bennington College Summer School of Dance in Vermont from 1937 to 1939. He later started his own company in Hartford, Connecticut, but then had to go to war from 1942 to 1943. While he was in battle, he began to develop his own dance notation system, as he did not like lap notation. He called this system ChoroScript, which used music notes rather than blocks and symbols. ChoroScript was never used outside his company, and was not even used for the notation of his own works. His works were rather documented by film. After the war, Nikolais moved to New York, where he worked and trained under Anaya Home. He also directed the Henry Street Playhouse, where he began an original intensive dance study program. He founded Playhouse Dance Company in 1951, and it was later renamed Nikolais Dance Theater. The company had first included 8 males. These males were supported by the GI Bill to study the arts when veterans had returned home. In 1949, he taught a class in Colorado where he met Murray Lewis. Nikolais admired Lewis's use of technique and athleticism in his movement, so then the two began to work together. Later, they developed an intimate relationship. Nikolais created the music for his works, which were electronic sounds and compositions.
He covered them in these fabric bags so that you don't see their faces. All you see are the shapes that they're making. And he often didn't even want to see the bodies beneath the bag. He was interested in really true abstraction.
He would also design all the lighting, projections or scenery, costumes, and props. His choreography was centralized in a theory he was proposing called decentralization, where the dancer would be liberated from themselves by movement and costuming. Alwin was the first to use many technical theater aspects in modern dance. In his company, technique and improv classes would start off the day, then classes that discussed drama, percussion, stagecraft, pedology, and choreoscript notation. His teaching style was known to be strict but witty. Alwin said that basic dance, and I should qualify the word basic, is primarily concerned with motion. So immediately you will say, but the basketball player is concerned with motion. That is so, but he is not concerned with it primarily. His action is meant towards an end beyond motion. In basic dance, the motion is its own end. That is, it is concerned with nothing beyond itself. He choreographed many of these style works, including Mask, Props, and Mobiles in 1959, Kaleidoscope in 1956, Allegory in 1959, Totem in 1960, Imago in 1963, Sanctum in 1964, Tent in 1968, Scenario in 1971, Prisms along with Guignol in 1977, Countdown in 1979, Talisman in 1981, Wrath in 1984, and Crucible in 1985. In 1970, the company toured abroad, and then in 1978, the French Ministry of Culture, along with the French city of Angers, organized an Alwin Nikolais Company and School, the new National Center of Contemporary Dance, which opened in November of 1979. As Alwin innovated the dance world with his use of lighting techniques, costuming, and the visual effects given by the dancers, he was thought to be dehumanizing with his choice of movements and costumes. Some people did not like the lack of human emotions in his work, while others enjoyed his ingenious choreography. The audiences later began to realize his kinetic metaphors for human problems and relations. Alwin Nikolais was awarded the Dance Magazine Award in 1967, Grand Prix de la Ville de Paris in 1969, Capezio Award in 1982, Scripps American Dance Festival Award and 2 Guggenheim Fellowships in 1985, and the Kennedy Center Honors National Medal of Arts in 1987. The French government named him Commander of the Order of Arts and Letters in 1982 and a Knight of the Legion of Honor in 1985. His last appearance in the theater was at a tribute to him at the Marymount Manhattan Theater. It was organized by Murray Lewis and performed by the choreographers and dancers that were in Nikolais' company or had worked. He was a man who was wholly invested into his work. He loved what he did. He once wrote, "It is impossible for me to be a purist. My loves are too various for that. I look upon this polygamy of motion, shape, color, and sound as the basis of theater."